We all know that KPIs are needing to change in the era of SEO, but it's not yet clear what we need to be changing them to. So for this video, it's just a quick rough and ready one. We'll just be going through a few of the thoughts that we're having on AI SEO KPIs, what they could be, how you can track them, how you can best use them moving forward, and where they need to differ from traditional SEO KPIs. So kicking off, the most obvious one here is obviously visibility. It's probably the easiest one to track one for one from how you would have been previously reporting on keyword positioning on, oh, yep, great. Number 1 on this keyword, number 5 on this keyword. Visibility is possibly the easiest one to kind of track across to that with the way that most checkers are showing it. So for this one, for each of them, I'm going to be showing you kind of a main tool that we'd be using. There are a few other options and I'll kind of go over them, but for each one, I'll sort of pick out a main one. So for this one, LLM refs, not just because it's free, but obviously that is very nice as well. But we find this one's pretty much the easiest one to use. It's the closest analog between just pure old keyword tracking and now AI visibility tracking. You'll see here that it breaks down into share of voice. So what you do is you just put in your keywords, again, very one-to-one old SEO. You pop your keywords in and then it comes out with a share of voice and a general kind of position. For us, share of voice is probably the best thing to set KPIs off. And that's something that you can track each and every month and see how your total share of voice is changing. So with the AI SEO work that you're doing, or potentially the competitors are doing, how that share of voice is managed. So the higher the share of voice, simply the more often that you're turning up for essentially the keywords and variations thereof that they're tracking for these queries. Position isn't quite as useful as it might sound. It doesn't really matter kind of where you're being listed in them. Obviously, it's nice to be listed as the exact number 1 option within it, but really what you care about is share of voice. It's probably easier here. Also, you can just track it within your one. So you'll set up your keyword and track your share of voice rather than needing to put in all of your different competitors and then it getting quite messy on having to report on multiple things. In this, it keeps it as you're just reporting on your share of voice. Much easier to get shareholder buy-in, to get your CEO to understand. If they were previously understanding rank tracking, then this is probably the easiest one for one. Visibility overall, like I say, it's the most obvious one. So it is one that more tools do as well. So for example, you've got YK here from Dixon Jones, one that I know that, for example, like Mark Williams Cook is promoting quite a bit at the moment compared to some other trackers. A lot more in depth. It's probably harder to KPI off this. It does give you an idea. So you've got industry rankings here and you can see how you're doing amongst it. But unfortunately for quite a lot of them, if there isn't much differentiation here, hard to KPI off really. This is particularly good in terms of being like essentially a heat map for visibility across different key topics from the keyword that you set. Again, really good, but quite difficult to KPI off. Oh, I want to be quadranted here, that kind of thing. A lot more difficult. But as a general tool, fantastic. We've also got, obviously, Ahrefs. They're making a lot of moves into visibility. So, for example, here you've got Ahrefs' brand radar. You can put in, this is just rough and ready. I've just chucked a few in there, so don't worry about who we've picked there. Not the number 1 competitors. But yeah, we've got here AI share of voice. Definitely something that you could KPI off, but it's a lot harder to tweak specifically. That's why we find LLM refs is a lot easier, not just because it's a lower number here, but because Ahrefs goes massive in comparing against everything, and it's not, at the moment, it doesn't really quite seem to be doing exactly what you might want it to do, but it is one that's worth bearing in mind. The elephant in the room, Profound. They're doing massive moves at the moment. We have tried out Profound before. Looked to be good. I would say that previously they're pricing many hundreds of dollars per month. Definitely kind of off-putting. They have brought out a new, I think it's $99 per month, which is their cheapest option. But elephant in the room, it doesn't work for me. It literally doesn't work for me. I don't mean in terms of taste. I literally mean I can't get it to work. I am trying to contact their support at the moment. Haven't been able to. If you're watching, please get back to me. But yeah, Profound, One to bear in mind here, they do have that kind of rank tracking, but seeing as LLM REST is free, that's what we kind of say for visibility. Your second KPI, citations. So this is how often your content, your website is being referenced directly by AI. Different to kind of visibility where you're just being mentioned. In this case, it is direct links. It is those actual kind of references, those sources. For this one, Ahrefs is doing very good work at the moment with this AI citations. You'll see that it's been brought in just onto the general domain overview here as well. Super simple. AI overview, ChatGPT, Perplexity, how many times you're being cited across all of these. Super easy to KPI off. Just get a note here, and every single month, just track back every month, every 2 weeks, however often you do your KPIs, track back, see how you're doing here, see how many pages are showing up and how many times. Nice, easy one. The more often you're being cited, the more helpful AI is finding your content, the more likely it is that could then drive eyeballs, clicks, if people are seeing your brand, seeing that you're being referenced in help to their queries and then come through. That's another kind of more obvious one to KPI off, and one that we're kind of finding more useful. Traffic, again, super obvious one to go for here. This one, not so much tools. What we do have, I've actually done a video previously, so I'll link that below, on how to set up GA4 reports on it. We do also have here, this is from SEO. I've shouted it out before, I'll shout it out again. Great little dashboard that SEO Interactive put together for measuring your AI traffic. So you just plug it into GA4 and then it brings it through here. Again, really easy KPIs here. Set it month by month, see your views, see how you're increasing. We had a lovely 148% spike compared to the last month, so go us. But yeah, really easy to create KPIs off this. Why do you need to create KPIs off traffic? Pretty simple. Clicks are disappearing. The SERPs aren't what they used to be. AI, there are far fewer clicks coming through to you, but you want to be able to track those clicks that you are getting. You want to be able to track that traffic that you are getting. We say this often. We find that it converts better. So in your GA4, you can also obviously track the associated revenue for that traffic as well. Fantastic KPI, super obvious one to set up. So yeah, traffic, pretty clear, pretty easy. Moving on, sentiment. A little bit of a more difficult one here. It can be easy in initially. Literally, just go on to ChatGPT, type in what is fatjoe like, and see what it says. Don't just obviously go for all the good stuff. Get an idea of, well, what bad reviews is it pulling up? What kind of customer concerns is it pulling up? And then try and address them. There's I'll include a link to it, a great GPT, Brand Skeptic. And you pop that in and it will generate 50 questions that potential buyers might ask about your brand. And then you can also have it follow up. And then it will go, here's what the current answers I would say are based off what I know about it. It's given us some great visibility on some blind spots. It's hard to overall KPI off sentiment, but it's definitely something that's worth generally tracking. As well as sentiment, I've kind of put under here as well, correctness. So YK from, like I say, Dixon Jones, this one's particularly good on bringing up different kind of facts. So you can put in your topics and then you can go link building and it will come up with different ones here. It will show you just fact statements that these models are making about your services, and you can keep an eye on whether they're correct or not. If they're correct, fantastic. But if you see that consistently it's hallucinating things, it's incorrect about things, then that's something you're going to want to look into and fix. Again, difficult in terms of an actual KPI, but it's certainly something that you should be doing monthly. And even if it isn't an out-and-out KPI, it's something that functionally should be one, just making sure it's as correct as possible. And finally, on correctness, actually, going back to this Looker Studio template, they actually have this 404 pages. It might seem a little bit odd to be tracking 404 pages, but that's for if AI is hallucinating regularly incorrect URLs. You want to keep a track of where it's 404 in, what 404s you're throwing up. And if you notice that consistently it's pointing through to pages that don't exist, you might want to actually create that page, or you might want to put in a redirect to the most relevant page that you can find. you don't want users going off, getting 404s, and then blaming you for a bad experience, even if it was AI that created it. So again, not so much a KPI, but certainly something that you want to be reviewing on a regular basis. And yeah, that's about it for just kind of some rough and ready overview of AI KPIs. Again, tools that we're kind of looking at the moment: LLM refs. You've got YK. Ahrefs, it's an easy way to use. You're probably already using Ahrefs, so you can add it on. Unfortunately, like I say, it does cost quite a bit. This great one here, so this is airank.dejan.ai. Another good one here, entities. Good thing to kind of keep an eye on. Just what does AI think that you're associated with, and the top competing brands. That's another particularly good one there. And then, like I say, elephant in the room, Profound. Should be pretty good. They've certainly got enough money behind them. They're certainly making a lot of noise around it, but unfortunately it isn't quite working at the moment. If I do get to a stage where Profound is able to work, then may well update this on how you can then do KPIs based off what Profound is saying. But yeah, it's a brand new landscape out there. Some of what you'll have been reporting on for SEO will track over, and some of it will just need to be new, but you just need to find the ways to communicate to, whether it be your CEO, managers, customers even, just how it's working. At the moment, that slice of the pie, that slice of the traffic, it's a lot smaller with AI, but it won't stay that way. It is growing and growing and growing, and you need to be able to report on it.